Welcome to the Jamul Casino Resort Padres postgame show on the Padres Radio Network. Coming up, we'll deliver a full recap of today's game, including highlights from the biggest moments. Listen to Mike Shildt's postgame comments. Plus, we'll bring you today's play of the game. From the Padres Radio Network, here's Sam Levitt.
Here's the 0-2. Arise sends it in the air to left center field. Long run Duran. He was shallow. On the move. Not going to get there. Bounces over his head. Goes to the base of the wall. Both runs will score. A 2-run double for Arise. And the Padres take a 2-0 lead.
Luis Arise got the scoring started. A 2-run double in the third. Padres go on to win it by a final score of 6-2 on this Sunday as they take the rubber game of this 3-game series from the Boston Red Sox. Welcome into our Jamul Casino Resort Padres postgame show. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park. Hey, player, the Jamul Casino Resort is your place. With the Lux Hotel Tower opening soon, new dining, and a long list of amazing amenities, you'll have more ways to play and enjoy all the perks of your casino fun. Jamul Casino Resort, the player's place. Padres get a really nice, really complete win as they beat the Red Sox 6-2. Padres improved to 66-52. Red Sox dropped to 65-54. For the Padres, they've now won 11 of their last 14 games. They've also won 4 consecutive series, and you look at this game, you just love what they did offensively. 6 runs on 9 hits. They got 2 in the third, 1 in the 5th inning, 2 in the 6th inning to take a 5-0 lead. Red Sox made it really interesting in the 7th inning, but the Padres bullpen, Jason Adam, Adrian Morejon, got big outs when they needed to. David Morgan, terrific out of the pen. He got the final 5 outs, and Dylan Cease with his second consecutive really, really good outing. 6 innings, 2 runs given up, just 1 earned. Cease picks up his 5th win of the season, his 2nd consecutive win, and the Padres, again, just a very complete 6-2 win as they win this series 2 out of 3 against the Red Sox. Luis Arise had the early 2-run double. I caught up with Luis on the field right after today's win.
Luis, your team has won 11 of their last 14 games, 4 straight series wins. How would you describe the baseball you're playing right now?
We have a great team, man. We have a great team. If everybody's healthy, we can do a lot of damage. And I'm happy to be here. And man, baseball is beautiful.
You got the scoring started, 2-run double in the third. Really good piece of hitting, going the other way into the gap. What allowed you to get it into the gap like you did?
I was ready to hit. I just tried to pick the pitch, and he threw me a fast from middle. I was ready for that, and then I hit it to the gap, man. And we scored 2 runs, so I'm happy for that.
Dylan Cease was great. The bullpen was great once again. What do you think other lineups are thinking when they got to face your pitching staff right now?
I don't know, but because we have a nasty pitcher, especially Dylan Cease, I'm happy for him, man. He worked hard. And then he got all support, and then I'm happy for him. He need to just keep continue to work hard, and then we hard hit back.
Finally, the new additions continue to contribute. Freddie Fermin starts that rally in the third. Ryan O'Hearn, a sac fly later in the game. Does this team feel different to you since the deadline?
It's a teamwork, man. It's a teamwork. When we are together, we do a lot of good things. So we need to stay together, play hard, and enjoy this beautiful sport. This sport is hard, but not impossible, man. We just need to continue to play hard and enjoy this game.
Luis, great series win. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
The always great Luis Arise. Post-game, 6-2. Padres win it over the Red Sox. Like Luis said, the game is hard, but not impossible, and the Padres come up with a very nice win, 6-2 against the Red Sox to win the rubber game of this series. Tell you what, really nice series win. Red Sox are a good team. They're playing well. Padres lost 10-2 on Friday. They found a way to win yesterday's game in extras, and they come away with just a very complete, and I would say aside from one error today, very crisp win for the Padres as they'll head on the road now, a 6-game road trip to San Francisco and LA. When we come back, we'll recap this one from start to finish. We got all the radio highlights for you. We'll go downstairs here from Mike Shildt. Coming up a little bit later as well, Padres win it on this Sunday 6-2 against the Boston Red Sox. Our postgame coverage continues after this.
My name is Jessica Cashew, and I drive
Our Jamul Casino Resort Padres post-game show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park as we continue to wrap this one up. Final score, the Padres 6 and the Red Sox 2 as the Padres win the rubber game of this three-game set. Padres improve to 66-52. The Red Sox drop to 65-54. Like I said earlier, Padres have now won 11 of their last 14 games, and they've also won 4 consecutive series. Here's another piece of good news today. Not only did the Padres win, but the Dodgers lost in LA to the Blue Jays. So the Padres move 2 games out of first place in the National League West. Of course, a series against the Dodgers looming on Friday in LA. First things first, Padres go up to San Francisco, play 3 games there, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Day off Thursday, then a series in LA against the Dodgers beginning on Friday. But good news today, Dodgers losing to the Blue Jays in LA. So the Padres now 2 games out of first place in the National League West. So a lot of good news today for the Padres, including Dylan Cease pitching well once again, offense doing good things, bullpen for the most part really, really good once again. And with all that in mind, let's recap this one from start to finish.
Which moments determine the outcome of today's game? We'll paint you a picture with our game highlights on the Padres Radio Network.
Our starting pitching matchup here today, Dylan Cease for the Padres against right-hander Brian Bello for the Red Sox. Both guys tossed a couple of scoreless innings to begin the game. Cease worked around a leadoff loop single in a scoreless top of the third. We had a scoreless game going bottom 3. Bello struck out the first 2 batters of the inning, but then the Padres rallied. Freddie Fermin hit a 2-out single. Bello then hit Fernando Tatis Jr. with an 0-2 pitch that was critical because it set things up for Luis Arraez.
Here's the 0-2. Arraez sends it in the air to left center field. Long run Duran. He was shallow. On the move. Not going to get there. Bounces over his head. Goes to the base of the wall. Both runs will score. A 2-run double for Arraez. And the Padres take a 2-0 lead.
Dylan Cease was in command. He allowed just 2 singles and struck out 6 through 5 scoreless innings. In the bottom half of the 5th inning, Jake Cronenworth blooped one down the left field line for a 1-out double. He was still on second base, 2 men away for Fernando Tatis Jr.
Cease with a runner on second, 2 outs, and a ground ball base hit into left field underneath the Stories dive. Cronenworth is on his way. He'll score. For to second, Fernando is tagged out, trying to get in behind the play, but nonetheless, Padres get a run, and an RBI single by Tatis makes it 3-0 after 5 innings here at Petco Park.
So a 3-0 Padres lead. Cease worked around a leadoff single in a scoreless 6th inning. So Dylan Cease at that point, 6 shutout innings, Padres with a lead. In the bottom half of the inning, Manny Machado hit a 1-out single. He stole second with 2 outs, and Manny still on second base. Xander Bogaerts dug in.
And Xander swings, hits it in the air towards the left field corner. Anthony, long run over towards the line. Not going to get there. It just dumps in front of him, a base hit. With 2 outs, Manny was able to run all the way. He comes in to score, and it's 4-0.
Bello then walked 2 straight batters to load the bases. Red Sox went to lefty Chris Murphy. He walked Jake Cronenworth to bring in another run. Padres led 5-0 through 6 innings. Cease then came back out for the 7th. He allowed a walk and a single to start the inning. Padres then went to Jason Adam. Adam hit a batter to load the bases with nobody out. Masataka Yoshida then hit a tailor-made double play ball to Xander Bogaerts at short, but Bogaerts had it go off his mitt, bounce away, an error on Xander. 2 runs came in. All of a sudden, it was a 5-2 game. Adam then gave up a single to load the bases again. Still nobody out in the inning. So things were getting very, very treacherous for the Padres bullpen. But then Adam struck out Cedon Rafaela for out number 1. He struck out Abraham Toro for out number 2. With the left-handed hitting, Roman Anthony coming up, the Padres went to lefty Adrian Morejon. Again, the bases loaded, 2 men away. Padres leading by 3 runs at 5-2. A big at bat. The count went to 3-2 on Roman Anthony.
3-2 to Anthony. Morejon delivers, and a swing and a miss. 98 coming down and into the left-handed batter, and 3 straight strikeouts by Adam and Morejon leave them loaded here in the 7th inning.
What a job by Adam and Morahone. 3 consecutive Ks like Jesse said there, and just a terrific job by those guys, stranding the bases loaded. Padres then answered in the bottom half against Red Sox reliever Greg Weissert. Fernando Tatis Jr. and Luis Arraez led off with a couple of singles. Tatis would later score on a sac fly from Ryan O'Hearn. Padres led 6-2. Then you fast forward to the top half of the 8th inning. Adrian Morahone got the first out of the inning. David Morgan came in, got the next 2. Fast forward to the 9th inning. Padres still leading 6-2. David Morgan, who has had a tremendous rookie season. He got Romy Gonzalez to ground out, Wilyer Abreu to strike out. The game was left up to the Red Sox, Cedon Rafaela.
2-2. Morgan ready. Here's the pitch to Rafaela. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. 99 up in the zone, and back-to-back Ks to seal the deal. David Morgan gets the final 5 outs. The Padres beat the Red Sox 6-2. And for the first time this season, the Pods are 14 games above 500.
What a win. What a nice series win for the Padres as they beat the Red Sox 6-2. Final totals here today for the Padres: 6 runs, 9 hits, 1 error. For the Red Sox, 2 runs, 5 hits, and no errors. Padres again now 66-52. Red Sox 65-54. Padres have won 11 of 14, a 4th consecutive series win for San Diego. When we come back, we'll hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt. Much more to do. We'll take your phone calls coming up later as well at 833-288-0973. Again, the phone number to call, 833-288-0973. Final score on this Sunday: Padres 6, Red Sox 2. Our Jamul Casino Resort Padres postgame show continues after this.
Stay tuned.
Our Jamul Casino Resort Padres post-game show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park. Final score here today, the Padres 6 and the Red Sox 2. We'll hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt coming up in just a little bit. Stay tuned for that. We also have our daily awards to get to in a little bit. We'll also take your phone calls coming up. 833-288-0973. Phone number to call. Again, 833-288-0973. The phone number to dial if you want to get involved. Like I said in the opening segment, this was a really nice win for the Padres. I mean, I really can point to one inning in this game that was not crisp, but starting pitching-wise, Dylan Cease was really good once again. That is a huge development for this team. The fact that Cease seems to be finding it again. The bullpen, when they had to get big outs in this game, they got them. The offense was consistent in this game. 2 runs in the third, 1 run in the 5th inning, 2 in the 6th inning. Even when the Red Sox made it a 5-2 game in the 7th, the Padres answered with a run of their own in the bottom half of the 7th inning. They got contributions up and down the lineup. Fernando Tatis Jr., 2 hits and 2 runs scored. Luis Arraez, 2 hits and 2 RBIs. Manny Machado had a hit and a run scored. Xander Bogaerts had a hit, RBI, run scored. Jake Cronenworth had a double, a run scored, an RBI. Freddie Fermin, I'll tell you what, 2 hits in this game, including, I think, one of the biggest hits in the game, and that was the 2-out single against Brian Bayo in the 3rd, because that set up that 2-run bottom half of the 3rd. So Padres got contributions up and down the lineup. Starting pitching was good. Bullpen was good. A very, very complete 6-2 win to win this series from the Boston Red Sox. What did the Padres skipper think of today's win? Let's find out.
Let's pull up a seat in the manager's office and hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt. Served up by Sin Lee Food, where fresh meets flavor. Find farm fresh produce, bold Asian spices, and gourmet ingredients at 4665 El Cajon Boulevard. Sin Lee Food, the cook's Asian resource.
Sure, there's a lot you'd like to get to. Maybe start with Dylan Cease and just how.
Yeah, there's a lot of good places to go. So, it typically starts on the mound. So we're thrilled to start there. Dylan was fantastic again. I mean, really, no hit stuff. The first hit was, well placed, but Dylan was fantastic and in control the whole way. And we'll get to the offense in a minute because I do think it's important. I do want to say a few things about it because I thought it was very relentless and as consistent of offensive game as we've had in a while. But to finish up with Dylan, I thought he threw the ball extremely well. And, the leadoff walk in the 7th and the base hit to Story got him. But he did more than his part. And that's exactly what we need out of our starters to be able to do just that.
And out of Dylan, we've been talking about it, like how good he has looked at times, back-to-back starts, and seems to really be validating what you guys have believed about him.
Yeah, listen, you see it all year. You pay attention to it. And he just continues to be more consistent. And he's just throwing the ball where he wants to. He's controlling counts better. If you looked up, and one of the indicators, not absolute indicator, was his ability to go into the 7th. His ability to be in the 4th at, 40-something pitches, be efficient with his pitches, dominate early in the counts, and look to get quicker outs. And we know he's got strikeout stuff clearly, but those early outs and those controlled counts are important for his efficiency and for us, and to get more innings.
And about the consistent scoring of the offense, the way that those runs were built, you had some real heads up running. What pleased you today? I
just thought the offense dictated the game today. The pitching was in concert, but I thought the offense dictated the game, and just loved the consistency of at bats. Better as we went. He was hitting his spots early, in and out. Slider was pretty good. He was pitching, and the beginning of the second time through, Freddie with 2 out, nobody on, does his thing. Toddy gets on, and Luis makes him pay the ball in the gap. And then the add-ons, it's just really good baseball in a lot of different ways to do it. But again, I thought Bello pitched well, but we consistently took quality at bats against him, and you could see him grind them out. And in the 6th, we were able to, 5th, we were able to get with Crony right out of the box. not seeing where it's going. Just, hey, I'm going to get on two. First 3 steps were good, able to bring him home. And then that 6th inning, and just Manny with a bag, Bogey with a bag. And then so we beat him with that. And then we were able to be disciplined with 3 straight walks, Jack. So I think is taking good at bats. I don't think I know is taking good at bats. I'm pleased with Jackson and, Laureano and Crony. They took their walks and had another run. And the more runs we scored, obviously, the better. And it helps with our bullpen. And the add-on in the 7th, that was huge too. Toddy, Rise, a couple of base hits, and then we got some situational hitting. Manny, big part of the field, moves Toddy over. O'Hearn, big part of the field, brings Toddy in. Now we have the flexibility to, we had to use Adam, obviously, had to use Morihone, who both did their parts. But we were able to, allow Morgan to come in, and he did a fantastic job to get the last 5 outs.
Right. It's a 4-1 lead, but that was a really good team, really good. The poise that David Morgan has continued to show as you've used him.
Great word, poise. He's just, he's got good arm. He's got a really good arm, and he's got a good sinker. His slider's good. He's got real weapons. And, the biggest thing, like we said, he's not going to make it bigger than it is. He's going to go out and he's going to be on attack, and came in and immediately made quality pitches and got his guys. And, obviously important to not have to go to the other guys as well. So, Miller's turning into Morgan's turning that guy that we can clearly trust.
Mike, Dylan had an ERA up around 5 through the All-Star break. Since the break, it's, back to the low 3s, more in line with his career. What has been the biggest difference you've seen from him, pre-break to post-break, if anything?
ERA can be a little bit tricky. He had in the game where the highest amount of runs scored against him was some of the softest contact he's allowed all year. So, that's the part of it. But starter ERA can be a little bit more indicative. And, I'm really confident that, perhaps I wouldn't say this, and Dylan's a really strong-minded guy, but, knowing he's going to be here maybe created a little bit more freedom for him. I don't know. He's a big part of what we do, and he knows that, but he's also human. And I, just a matter of being the consistency we talked about with Ace's question, just, he's dominating the strike zone, and he's throwing a lot of quality pitches, and he's getting his strikeouts, but, he's also getting a lot of earlier outs and controlling counts and allowing him to go be who he is. And that's one of the better pitchers in our game.
7th inning, big spot there, 5-2, bases loaded, no outs, and Adam bounces back, strikes out a pair of guys. Morihone comes in, gets Anthony. Just what did you make of that moment, that situation there?
Yeah, we go in and like I said, Dylan got a little runaway, and the walk and the base hit got him. And, we weren't as clean as we needed to be as far as a hit batter and a defensive play, which is very, very, very uncharacteristic, but we got to prove we're human some days. But the thing I love about it is, and it's indicative of our team, those human things are going to happen. They just are. It's how you handle those things. So Jason Adam being able to get in that situation, now we've got traffic, now we got runs scored, and then be able to go, okay, I'm just going to go bear down. I'm going to execute. I'm going to stay in the moment, and I'm going to trust my ability. And he goes punch out. And then it was Morihone's turn. And again, same thing. I'm going to come in, gets behind in the count. Okay, I can do this. I got this. I'm going to go attack. And that's ultimately what this is about. It's really about being as consistent as you can possibly be. And then that's the human part and the challenging part. And then the other part is when things don't quite go as well, regardless of situation, offensively, defensively, pitching, you go, okay, let's cut it right here and let's right the ship and let's get back to it and play the game the right way. And that's what great players and great teams do.
A big part in your guys' win today was like the hustle plays. A couple of times throughout the game, there was a couple. What can you say about the level of effort that your team brings on a daily basis?
Yeah, I'm glad you recognize that. Our guys' care factor and effort level was really beyond question. These guys mentioned Crony getting out of the box. We do all the little things that you want to see on a field from my seat and really from the seats that sit in Petco, effort is not something to be taken for granted. It is something we expect, but it's what the guys do. They show up to win. They show up to play the game the right way, and it was on display again today.
Cronenworth also extended his on-base streak to 15 games. What can you say about his contributions?
Jake, again, it seems like, he's one of these guys that we got a lot of people that carry the mail for us, and we talk about, and rightfully we can talk about Jake, but Jake, similar to Bogey, just playing good baseball. And Jake's just a winning player. He can go and do a little bit of everything. He's taken, it was a tough walk he got today. The lead double to extend the lead. Plays excellent defense. Just a smart winning player that knows what the game calls for and has the ability to execute it. So he's a big part of our club.
Hey, Mike, games are so often won on the margins. I think the first 4 runs you guys scored all 2-out hits.
Yes.
Thoughts on that? The 2-out hits, clutch hitting, and winning games.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. I mean, we talk about that a lot. I was talking to David Macias, our first base and base running and outfield coach. Before the game, we're just talking about, incrementally how we win. And I just love talking about that. And me and David got in a good conversation. We're talking about Skip Bertman, a long time LSU head coach. And I remember growing up and studying him and listening to him at clinics. And, he just talked about the game being, chances are proposition. And what we're trying to do at every single turn is create an edge. And the more we can be aware of situations, the more we can scale them back. That's what we use analytics for, but then also what's within that moment that tells us how to, how we want to compete. And, that's how we play the game, looking to always grab an edge and see and do what the game calls for. And, allow our players the freedom to see and do what they calls for. Because I do believe that with all confidence and having done it, championship players, they can do for themselves. And so our job's prepare them and guide them. But the 2-out hits are big, 2 out, nobody on, gets back to that give nothing away. It's still they still have to get a third of the inning. And so we still, we're not going to give that at bat away. We're going to figure out a way. And I just thought a lot of good things were on display tonight, and teams that are as talented as we are, that are focused like that and compete to that degree consistently are really hard to beat.
Was their pitcher slow to the plate on a couple later into his outings, their starting pitcher, and you guys were able to take advantage of that on your base running?
I mean, we look to be opportunistic, at all times. So, the guys ran when they saw there was an opportunity.
And this bullpen, have you been around a better one?
Well, last year's bullpen was good as well, but this is, this is as good a bullpen as you're going to find. And so, like I said, the ability for Morgan to go do what he did and Wani throwing like he is, Yuki's been more consistent. It just lengthens it out. So it's a very, very talented, big part of our club.
You struck out 14 last night out of your bullpen. That's a pretty good number. Today, the last guy is throwing 99.
Right. Yeah, it's a very talented bullpen. And the thing about our bullpen is they're all together. They're all, like I say, they're very aggressive. They challenge the zone, but their preparation is elite. They all individually and as a group are aware of what they're looking to do. They work in concert with our catchers very well. Clearly the staff's working with them and talking to them and creating clarity about what it looks like, from a competition game planning standpoint. But these guys do their own work, and that's why I say, the talent's there, but the other intangibles are in display that are really a shining example of what's right with, successful major league players.
That was Padres manager Mike Shildt after the 6-2 win for the Padres against the Boston Red Sox to win 2 out of 3 this weekend here at Petco Park. We'll step aside. When we come back, I want to chew on some of the things that Mike Shildt talked about there. He was asked about the hustle the Padres had today. I want to dive into that a little bit because I thought it was a really important part of today's game. We're going to talk about what happened in the 7th inning, the huge strikeouts that Jason Adam and Adrian Morejon recorded to help the Padres to this win. And we're going to also show some love to David Morgan. Not that we have failed to do that. I think I've shown David quite a bit of love here on the post-game coverage, even pre-game coverage throughout the year, even on the game broadcast this week in Arizona. However, we need to talk about in depth how good this guy has been. Not only how good he's been, but what a story David Morgan is becoming for this team and for himself. Unbelievable what he's done so far in his rookie season. So we're going to talk about that. We'll continue to break down this game. Full look at the out-of-town scoreboard. Get to your phone calls coming up a little bit later as well at 833-288-0973. Again, phone number as always, if you want to chime in about today's game or this series win, whatever you want to talk about Padres related. Phone number is always 833-288-0973. Final score here today on this Sunday, Padres win it 6-2 against the Red Sox. Our postgame coverage continues after this.
Hey, my friends, it's Woodsy. You ever want to drink your shower water? With Eco Water SoCal, you actually can. Clean, pure water for the whole family. We do it.
And honestly,
Back here at Petco Park, our Jamul Casino Resort Padres post-game show continues. Final score on this Sunday, Padres 6 and the Red Sox 2 as the Padres improve to a record of 66-52. Red Sox dropped to 65-54. Padres bounced back with wins yesterday and today after dropping the series opener on Friday. Padres have won 11 of 14. They've also won 4 consecutive series. They are playing very, very good baseball right now and are really gelling as a group after the trade deadline. All the moves AJ Preller made, contributions all over the place. Once again here today, Dylan Cease, very, very good. 6 innings, 2 runs given up, only 1 earned. We'll get to your phone calls here in a bit. 833-288-0973. Phone number to call, again, 833-288-0973 if you want to get involved on the phones. Let's tell you about today's relief pitcher of the game.
Which pitcher entered the game and slammed the door shut? This is today's relief pitcher of the game, presented by David P. Shapiro Criminal Defense Attorneys. When your freedom and future are on the line, you need the best arm in the pen. Visit DavidPShapiroLaw.com.
3-2 to Anthony. Morahone delivers, and a swing and a miss. 98 coming down and into the left-handed batter, and 3 straight strikeouts by Adam and Morahone leave them loaded here in the 7th inning.
Our relief pitcher of the game, we'll give it to Adrian Morahone, who I think recorded the biggest out of this game. That was in the 7th inning. Padres up 5-2. Red Sox have the bases loaded. The left-handed hitting Roman Anthony coming up at the top of the Red Sox lineup. Morahone comes in. The count goes to 3-2, and he strikes out Anthony to strand the bases loaded. The tying runs on base. So for that, Morahone gets relief pitcher of the game. He didn't have to do a ton of work today. He only had to get 2 outs. He threw 13 pitches. However, that was a huge moment in this ball game as the Red Sox, it felt like, were really knocking on the door of a rally there to come back in the 7th inning. Jason Adam also deserves credit. You know, he comes in, hits a batter, then the error by Bogarts, obviously a big play. 2 runs come in, a single, still bases loaded, nobody out. You're only up by 3, but Adam, to his credit, bounced back to strike out Rafaela and the pinch hitter Toro. And then Mike Shildt goes to Morahone to face Anthony, lefty on lefty, and Morahone strikes him out. So for that reason, Adrian Morahone, our relief pitcher of the game. However, I do want to talk about David Morgan, who was great again today. Morgan goes an inning and 2/3. No runs, no hits, no walks, struck out 3. He lowered his ERA in this rookie campaign in 27 appearances to 1.71. He struck out 32 in 31 and 2/3 innings. His whip is 104. His batting average against is 198. He's allowed only 22 hits in 31 plus innings. You can look at whatever metric you want to look at. David Morgan has been fantastic in this rookie season. And look, there's no doubt when we look at the Padres bullpen, and it's so deep, it's so versatile, they have so much optionality right now with it. There's no doubt that you put 5 guys in a group of their own right now, and I think that's fair based on their track record and based on their stuff and what they've done in the game, right? That's Adam, Morahone, Estrada, Suarez, and Miller. Okay, those 5. But I will say this, David Morgan is knocking on the door of saying, hey, you 5, let me into the room. This is now a big 6, or whatever nickname you want to use for those 6 in the bullpen. He's been that good, and the stuff for David Morgan is that good. He has been remarkably impressive, and he is turning into another tremendous development story for this Padres bullpen. You know, Jeremiah Estrada has been one of those, considering he was picked up from the Cubs, you know, who let him go and shows up at spring training last year. We don't know a ton about him, and he's turned into one of the best relievers in baseball. David Morgan, keep in mind, signed with the Padres as an undrafted free agent and somebody that did not pitch very much in college at all. He basically grew into being a pitcher in pro ball after he signed. The Padres, you know, basically just, you know, took a flyer on him coming out of an NAI school and somebody who had not pitched a lot. And he's been terrific, and the stuff is terrific. So he's turning into yet another really, really incredible story for this Padres team and this bullpen. And again, we can talk about those 5 guys, and rightfully so, but David Morgan has been so good that he is, to me, knocking on the door of being included in that real high leverage mix. Now, the good news is the Padres don't need him to be the number 1 guy, number 2 guy, number 3 guy, number 4 guy, number 5 guy in the bullpen. They can use him a little bit, you know, differently than that, because they can, because of the arms they have. They don't have to put that kind of pressure on him. But you can add him into the mix here with this bullpen that makes it such an unbelievably unique advantage that the Padres have. I mean, they have right now, and Wandy Peralta has been really good too. They have 6 to 7 guys down there that you have a ton of confidence in. And that is just a really rare thing to say about a bullpen. When you're looking at almost everybody down there in a high leverage spot and you're saying, you know what, I got confidence you're going to get it done. And the stuff, I mean, elite stuff from those guys. So I thought it was a good day to show David Morgan a little bit of love. I really do, because he's been so good. He's been really consistent. He's a great story. And he's another real success story for this Padres team and this Padres bullpen and AJ Preller. So he's been great and well-deserved success here for David Morgan. He's been absolutely terrific so far. Let's hear today's catch of the game.
Which defensive play had the biggest impact on today's game?
He is at the wall, leaps up, and he makes the catch.
This is the catch of the game.
Gonna hang a star for Jackson Merrill.
Reeled in by Anthony's Fish Grotto La Mesa, celebrating 80 years of seafood excellence.
0-1 off the end of the bat on a line into left. Laureano charges in, slides forward to make the catch, and that will end the top of the 5th inning.
Play by Ramon Laureano to end the 5th, help Dylan Cease through a nice outing here today. That was our catch of the game. Dylan Cease again, 6 innings, 2 runs given up, 1 earned. And keep in mind, could have been just 1 run given up in this game. Xander Bogaerts committing the error in the 7th inning, so who knows what the final line looks like if Bogaerts does pick up that ball cleanly, execute the double play. Only 1 run comes in on that play, but regardless, nice play by Laureano. Good outing for Dylan Cease once again. That is a very positive development for the Padres, and they win it by a final score of 6-2. Before we squeeze in a couple of phone calls here, I do want to just talk about a couple of things. Well, not a couple of things, but a couple of plays because I thought they were important in this game. The Padres, I love the way they hustled in this game. I do. And there are 2 real examples of it. And this is where I say, aside from Bogaerts, booting that grounder, the potential double play ball, this was a very clean, crisp, well-played game for the San Diego Padres. 2 plays that I want to focus on. The first is the Padres are leading 2-0 in the 5th. Jake Cronenworth bloops one down the left field line. It falls in fair. Anthony can't get to it. Cronenworth is hustling out of the box all the way. He never breaks stride. Around first, into second, just gets into second base with a 1-out double. And guess what? Really important that he got to second base because later in the inning, he comes home on the Tatis RBI single to make it 3-0. But Cronenworth was hustling out of the box all the way, took nothing for granted. He never broke stride once around first base. Thought it was a great hustle double by Jake Cronenworth. That was example number 1. Then in the 6th inning, Padres leading 3-0. Manny Machado 1-out single, steals second, and then Xander Bogaerts bloops one into left. Manny comes home from second base. Again, if Manny doesn't steal second there, and Manny's been good in that department, stealing bases this year when he's tried it, he doesn't score that run. So it was good, aggressive base running today by the Padres. I just love what they did on the bases today. The hustle they showed, I really, really did. All right, let's squeeze in a few phone calls here. 833-288-0973. Phone number to call. Let's begin things. Line 2, it's Aaron in San Diego calling in. Hi, Aaron. You're on the Padres Radio Network with Sam Levitt. Go ahead.
Sam Lev, how are you, man? I always see you in the home plate club. You're doing such a great job.
Thank you very much.
So here's my question. This team looks like firing on all cylinders. It's really clicking, and all these guys look like they're having just a blast playing together. The one noticeable player who looks like he's not having fun is Tatis. Tatis is, he hasn't been playing well. He's dropping his shoulders, kind of putting his head down when he's not making, not getting on base. I'm curious if you have any insight on that, what you think, what you're seeing, and how we get past that.
Yeah, Aaron, look, I don't have any groundbreaking insight on it. I know the body language doctors love to analyze Tatis. I hesitate to get into it as far as body language. Here's what I can tell you. Obviously, this has not been really since April. I'm sure the production level that Fernando Tatis Jr. wants. Right now, he's doing some good things. We've talked about the on-base percentage. We've talked about the increased walks. But look, Fernando, I think after today, it's 2 home runs in his last 39 games. Don't quote me on that. I'll double check during the break, but I think it's 2 home runs in his last 39 games. I think it's 9 RBIs in that span as well. Again, don't quote me on that. I'll check it during the break. If I'm wrong, I'll fix it after the break. However, well, the on-base stuff is good. The walks are good. He's productive. His defense has not slipped at all. His arm talent, obviously, still there. He's an excellent base runner. I thought he actually made a terrific base running play in Arizona. on the Arise RBI hit in the 11th inning, reading that perfectly. He does so many good things that impacts a game beyond, slugging and hitting balls over the fence. But obviously, since April, look, has it been the season he envisioned? I don't think it has. I think he would like to slug more and have the OPS be higher and be more of a run producer. As far as body language, I just hesitate to get into it. What could be is that, he hasn't played up to his standards or super well by his talent level. And maybe that's what you're seeing, frustration in that sense. But beyond that, I really hesitate to get to be a body language doctor for these guys. Today he had a good game. I'll give him that. A walk, hit by a pitch, scored a run, RBI single and a run scored in the 7th inning. So he was very much involved in this win here today, which hopefully is a good sign of things to come for Fernando Tatis Jr. Let's go to Mitch in New Jersey calling in. Hi, Mitch.
Hey, Sam, how you doing? Thanks for taking my call.
You got it.
Yeah, bullpen is one of the best in the league. It just depends on how I hit. But hitting will just come around a little more home runs. We're pretty confident we get to the playoffs and run deep.
Yeah, look, Mitch, the offense, and appreciate the phone call. The offense has been, mostly good over the course of this 14-game span where they've won 11. Look, I don't think you can have a ton of complaints with the way they're playing right now. I know Friday was a bit of an ugly game, got away from them. I know the opener in Arizona got away from them a little bit, but ever since losing 2 in St. Louis and then, rolling into the deadline, the pickups they've made, those contributions. I mean, today, those guys contributed. Fermin had a 2-out single that started the rally in a scoreless game in the 3rd. O'Hearn had a sac fly in the 7th inning to get a run right back after the Red Sox scored 2 in the top of the 7th. So they continue to contribute, whether it's Fermin or O'Hearn or Laureano. Obviously, you're hoping this coming series in San Francisco, Nestor Cortez can have a good outing. They are getting contributions from those guys, and they're playing good baseball, and they're playing winning baseball right now. So I don't think you can have a ton of complaints about the way they're playing overall and the way they look right now. They look good. They look like a good team that is headed for the postseason. They've got work to do to make that happen, but I think you are well within your right now, if you're a Padres fan, to feel good and confident about where this team is and where they are hopefully going. And Mitch, to your point, the bullpen has a massive role in that. Let's go to Charles in Ramona calling in. Hi, Charles. You're on the Padres Radio Network with Sam Levitt. Go ahead.
Hey, thank you for taking my call. So I just wanted to go over 2 things. One, David Morgan. I think we can anoint him and make him the 6th guy, and I'm calling it the Sinister 6 to keep it biblical.
Okay.
I think that'd be great. And then also,
that's a candidate. We'll see how people, if they want to adopt that one. It's a candidate now.
the Red Sox. They're a really good baseball team. You have over 60 wins in August. You're a good baseball team. And so, and they were hot coming in, and to be able to take 2 out of 3 out of these guys, especially after getting kind of, laughed at, like a laugher on the first game. It's hard to bounce back from those sometimes. It just shows the fortitude of this team.
Yeah, it was a really good series
really
win.
Players.
Yeah, Charles, appreciate the phone call. It was a really good series win. Red Sox are a good team. I like this Red Sox team a lot. I mean, look, we're so far from it. I don't want to get crazy, but could you see this matchup in October? Maybe. I don't think it's a crazy idea if you're looking at it objectively. Red Sox are a good team. To your point, Charles, they were very hot coming in. They had a big win on Friday night. I like them because they have a little bit of everything. Now, their bullpen's not as good as the Padres bullpen, but their starting pitching's good. Their lineup is deep. They've got a good World Series winning manager in Alex Cora. I like this Red Sox team. I think they can make some real noise come the postseason, and they got to get there too. But it's a good series win, no doubt about it. Really nice series win. And I liked what the Padres did today. I really did. I liked the way they played, other than the Bogarts error and Cease being a little wobbly in the 7th inning towards the end of his outing. This was a very clean win. It was a very crisp, well-played, team complete kind of win today. And I think you got to like that a whole lot as the Padres win it 6-2. Let's squeeze in one more thing before we go to break. Let's tell you about the heart of the order.
Let's take the pulse of the Padres and check in on the Heart of the Order, presented by Palomar Health, the official healthcare provider of 97.3 The Fan. Palomar Health, leading with heart for every patient. Palomar Health is reimagining healthcare.
Part of the order, the 3, 4, 5 hitters for the Padres today. Today, that was Manny Machado, Ryan O'Hearn, and Xander Bogaerts. They went a combined 2 for 11 in today's game with 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored. Manny 1 for 4 with a run scored. O'Hearn 0 for 3, but did have a big RBI in the 7th inning to make it 6-2. Xander Bogaerts had a base hit, RBI, run scored as well. So again, combined Machado, O'Hearn, and Bogaerts 3, 4, 5. They were 2 for 11 with 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored. So a pretty nice day, run producing wise, from the 3, 4, 5 spots. That's what the heart of the Padres order did in this 6-2 win. We'll step aside when we come back. Full look at the out-of-town scoreboard, our play of the game. We'll wrap things up. Get you ready for tomorrow's series opener in San Francisco on the Padres Radio Network.
You're listening to the
Welcome back to the Jamul Casino Resort Padres postgame show, brought to you by the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the Players Place. Padres win it 6-2 on this Sunday as they beat the Boston Red Sox to take 2 out of 3 from the Sox. Military Sunday on the Padres Radio Network is presented by your San Diego County Toyota dealers. Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, no-cost maintenance standard, so you get peace of mind standard. Let's take a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard, tell you what's gone on this Sunday around the major leagues.
Let's take a trip around the bigs to highlight the scores that matter most with our out-of-town scoreboard. Presented by Jensen Premium Beef Patties. Always a hit for grilling.
We have everything final today aside from one game, the one game going on, Sunday Night Baseball in St. Louis. Cubs and the Cardinals, they are scoreless at the end of the first inning in St. Louis. Twins beat the Royals earlier today, 5-3, the final in 11. Twins winning that game in the 11th on a walk-off home run from, they won it on a walk-off home run from, man, I hope I said this name right. I'm going to be honest. This is a new Twin. Luke Keishall? I should know it. I'll look it up. Luke Keishall. We'll go with that. Hit a walk-off home run in the bottom half of the 11th inning. Hey, the Twins traded away everybody at the deadline. They got a bunch of new guys. Luke Keishall is what I'll go with. Hit a walk-off home run in the 11th inning. I'm sorry, Luke, if I'm saying your name wrong. Reds beat the Pirates 14-8 in Pittsburgh today. Astros beat the Yankees 7-1 in New York. Carlos Correa home run in that game for Houston. Braves beat the Marlins 7-1 in Atlanta. A's beat the Orioles 3-2 in Baltimore. Tigers beat the Angels 9-5 in Detroit. White Sox beat the Guardians 6-4 in Chicago. The Brewers beat the Mets 7-6. Mets had a 5-0 lead in that game. Isaac Collins, really promising rookie for the Brew Crew, hit a walk-off home run, bottom of the 9th inning. Brewers win it 7-6. The Brewers are playing great baseball. They're now 73-44. Best record in baseball. The Mets continue to struggle. Phillies beat the Rangers 4-2 in Arlington. Phillies swept that series against Texas. Nationals beat the Giants 8-0 in San Francisco. Tough outing for Justin Verlander in that one. Diamondbacks swept the Rockies 13-6 in Arizona. They had an 8-run 5th inning today. Mariners beat the Rays 6-3. Cal Raleigh, another home run, number 45 on the season. For him, we talked about him pregame. He is looking to be well on his way to hitting the most home runs in a single season by a catcher ever. 6-3, Mariners beat the Rays. Raleigh goes deep. And finally, the good news of the day, Blue Jays beat the Dodgers in LA 5-4. So, with the Padres winning, with the Dodgers losing, the Padres move to just 2 games out of first place in the National League West. And a reminder, the Padres begin a 3-game series in LA on Friday. And that's a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard on this Sunday. Padres beat the Red Sox today 6-2. Let's hear our play of the game.
The line between winning and losing can be razor thin. Which play was the difference between victory and defeat? This is today's Play of the Game, presented by Bill Howe Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
Here's the 0-2. Arise sends it in the air to left center field. Long run Duran. He was shallow. On the move. Not going to get there. Bounces over his head. Goes to the base of the wall. Both runs will score. A 2-run double for Arise. And the Padres take a 2-0 lead.
Luis Arise got the scoring started today. 2-run double in the third. 2-out hitting for the Padres, a big theme in this one. And Luis providing today's play of the game. Bottom line, Padres did not look back. They would add on, extend the lead to 5-0. Then it was 5-2. Then they got a run back to make it 6-2, and they go on to win by that final score. I caught up with Luis Arise on the field right after today's series win.
Luis, your team has won 11 of their last 14 games, 4 straight series wins. How would you describe the baseball you're playing right now?
Oh, we have a great team, man. We have a great team. If everybody's healthy, we can do a lot of damage. And I'm happy to be here. And, man, baseball is beautiful.
You got the scoring started, 2-run double in the third. Really good piece of hitting, going the other way into the gap. What allowed you to get it into the gap like you did?
I was ready to hit. I just tried to pick the pitch, and he threw me a fast middle. I was ready for that, and I hit it to the gap, man. And we scored 2 runs, so I'm happy for that.
Dylan Cease was great. The bullpen was great once again. What do you think other lineups are thinking when they got to face your pitching staff right now?
I don't know, but because we have a nasty pitcher, especially Dylan Cease, I'm happy for him, man. He worked hard. And then he got all support, and then I'm happy for him. He need to just keep continue to work hard, and then we had his back.
Finally, the new additions continue to contribute. Freddie Fermin starts that rally in the third. Ryan O'Hearn, a sac fly later in the game. Does this team feel different to you since the deadline?
It's a teamwork, man. It's a teamwork. When we are together, we do a lot of good things. So we need to stay together, play hard, and enjoy this beautiful sport. This sport is hard, but not impossible, man. We just need to continue to play hard and enjoy this game.
Luis, great series win. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
That was the always fantastic Luis Arise after today's win. Luis had the 2-run double in the third, and the Padres don't look back today. They win it 6-2. As always, if you missed any portion of our post-game coverage, you can go back and listen to all of it on the Inside San Diego Baseball podcast, available wherever you get your wherever you get your podcast, hear your podcast. I don't know why I couldn't say that. You can go on any platform you like. You can also go back on the 97.3 The Fan YouTube channel and watch any portion of our post-game coverage in video form there as well. Taking a look at tomorrow's game, Padres embarking on a 6-game road trip, 3 in San Francisco, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then 3 in LA, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Keep in mind, the Padres are going to play only the Dodgers and the Giants for the foreseeable future. To give you an idea of how kind of weird it is, and it's not my favorite thing with the new schedule, the fact that all these games are bunched up together, divisional games bunched up together. But to give you an idea of how weird it is, here's the schedule for the Padres for the foreseeable future. They play 3 in San Francisco, 3 in LA, 4 against San Francisco here at home, and then 3 against the Dodgers here at home. That takes them until August 25th in Seattle. So for the next 2 weeks, it'll be Giants, Dodgers, Giants, Dodgers. That's it. So get used to those teams, and obviously big divisional games for the Padres as well. First pitch tomorrow in San Francisco at 6:45. Our pregame coverage will begin at 5:45. Pitching matchup tomorrow on the mound for the Giants, right-hander Logan Webb. Padres have not announced their starting pitcher officially for tomorrow. It would be Yu Darvish. He would be on turn to go tomorrow, but again, that is not official from the Padres. So right now it is TBA for the Padres. We'll see if Darvish is the announced starting pitcher here shortly, and right-hander Logan Webb on the mound for the San Francisco Giants. Taking a look at the final totals in this series finale as the Padres win 2 out of 3, a 4th consecutive series win. For the Red Sox, 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors. They left on 6. For the Padres, 6 runs, 9 hits, 1 error. They left on 7. Dylan Cease, the winner today. He's 5-10. Losing pitcher Brian Bayo, who drops to 8-6. Time of game, 3 hours on the dot, and the crowd here at Petco Park. You guessed it, another sold-out crowd. 52nd of the season. 43,323. Once again, first pitch tomorrow at 6:45 in San Francisco. Pre-game coverage with me begins at 5:45. Until then, for our great studio coordinator, Bobby Sharton, I'm Sam Levitt saying so long from Petco Park. Again, the final score here today, the San Diego Padres 6 and the Boston Red Sox 2. We'll talk to you tomorrow here on the Padres Radio Network. Have a great rest of your Sunday.